Jelly Bean said hi to the camera. Hi, camera. Definitely a new camera, as you could probably tell by the quality, because it's not my iPhone anymore. But not gonna lie, don't know how to work this thing, so I hope this is recording. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and turn your post notifications so you don't miss any of my uploads. On my channel, I love reviewing, recommending, and vlogging all things related to my love of books, so if that's of interest to you, don't be afraid to join our little bookish community here on YouTube. I'm super excited for today's video because if you've watched some of my recent videos, if you haven't, they're all linked in the description box, but I've mentioned that I'm on a hunt to read all the mysteries that I can this summer. I know people typically group romance books and summer together, however, on my channel, I hate romances. Okay, I wouldn't say I hate romances. I don't care for them. Okay, sometimes I do, but nonetheless, here are my top 5 summer mystery books to read this summer. As always, all the books that I mentioned will be linked in the description box for you, along with links to connect with me on social media and my Patreon if you want more exclusive content, access to the Discord with other bookish community members, buddy reads, book clubs, and more. But alright, grab your magnifying glasses because here are the top 5 mystery books you should read this summer. Let's talk and reach our many endings. Rank any of these books, so they're not in any particular order, but the first book that I want to share is from one of my all-time favorite authors. I was introduced by this author through Booktube, so thank y'all for recommending and telling me about this book. For this video, I have to come out with a bang, so the first book that I want to recommend is Monday's Not Coming by Tiffany D. Jackson. If you've never read anything written by Tiffany D. Jackson, this is your sign to pick up her books and read them because she is an amazing writer. She's so captivating, so engulfing, atmospheric, and Monday's Not Coming was the first book that I ever read it through and through and felt like I was gonna throw up. I had such a visceral reaction to what was going on in this book. The plot twist in it is beyond me. I recommend this book to anyone, but I would also say if you're new to reading books or you don't read that fast or you don't like reading that fast or you don't read many books, definitely pick this book up. It's perfectly paced. I recommended this book to my friends who hate reading and they still love this book, so I highly recommend it. I will say Monday's Not Coming is a very hard-hitting book. This book follows a girl whose best friend goes missing and it seems like she's the only one who cares or even realizes that her best friend is missing or gone. Her parents, her teachers all make it seem like her best friend Monday had never even existed. Throughout the book, we follow her point of view and timeline as she tries to find her missing best friend. I want to point out some trigger warnings and content warnings for this book. There are discussions of mental illnesses, death, and abuse that goes on in this book. Even though I highly recommend it and it's a great mystery and a great book to read, please make sure that you're at capacity or have the emotional capacity for this story because it definitely is gut-wrenching. And speaking of books that are gut-wrenching, the next book I recently read and finished and I'm about to reread it again tonight because there is so much to unpack and this is probably the best book that I've read in 2021. That book is Ace of Spades. This book has been circulating, everyone is talking about it, everyone is reading it, I feel like. On my Patreon, this is the buddy read of the month and I can tell you that it is a roller coaster. I say that about a lot of books, but there has never been a book that really made me feel happy, sad, angry, and all of the emotions in between in one sitting. Ace of Spades is a book that has been marketed as a Get Out meets Gossip Girl book, and it definitely delivers. In this book, we follow two main characters, Devon and Chiamaka. They are the only two black students that attend this elite private school. In this book, we follow them in their senior year when all of a sudden their life gets turned upside down because an anonymous gossiper is set on ruining their life. This book was definitely a roller coaster, like I said, but it made me feel so many different things, and I'm gonna have a whole separate video on it on my Patreon dissecting every single page of this book because honestly this book is a masterpiece, and if you don't want to read it this summer you need to pick it up and read it sometime because it is actually the best book that I've ever read probably. I also want to share content and trigger warnings for this book because I wish I had this list because I was really going through it and had many times where I just had to put the book down and leave my house because I could not deal with it. This book discusses oppression and racism and psychological, physical, institutional, and systemic forms, conversations of navigating sexuality, physical and emotional abuse, drugs, classism, and jail time, just to name a few. This was definitely an emotional read, but it was a 5 out of 5 stars. I highly suggest you read it. A great mystery and a great book, period. What I want to recommend is actually the first mystery that I read that started my love for this genre. It's a Truly Devious series by Maureen Johnson. I currently have the books packed away, but I'll put a picture right here. This mystery series is a masterpiece. I loved every single one of these books, and I highly, highly, highly recommend it if you're just getting into the genre, if you want something that's fast-paced or not too long to read, and if you want drama but still a little bit of lightheartedness. In the series, we follow a young girl named Stevie who attends this new boarding school that was designed by this person who wanted to bring high school students together and work on their craft, meaning that each individual student had a specialty in what they really wanted to do. Stevie was invited to attend the school because her special skill set was detective work. And what better way to showcase her talents than go to the school that has one of the most famous mystery cases in the world. This school is famous for an unsolved murder mystery that involved the founders of the very school. So Stevie and her new friends at the academy work together to figure out what happened to this family. I tell y'all, I read all 3 books in a matter of 2 days. I definitely did because it was that good. If you haven't read it, definitely pick it up this summer because the 4th book of a new series that followed the same characters in the Truly Devious cast is The Box in the Woods. Stevie and her friends at a summer camp where they are set on a task to solve another mystery that happened there. I haven't read The Box in the Woods yet, but it was definitely one of my most anticipated reads of 2021. This is definitely in my July TBR video. If you haven't watched that, I'll link it in the description and up here. I absolutely cannot wait to get into this. I've already heard so many great things, so I highly suggest it to you. Next mystery that I have to share with y'all is a book that I don't ever really talk about on my channel, but I have an entire live stream where I read it from start to finish with Mare from Mare Reads. I'll link it up here and in the description box so you can check it out if you want to read along. That book is The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware. I want to put a disclaimer that this isn't the most radical or different mystery that I've read. It's definitely good for what it's worth, and because it's set in the summertime, I definitely think this is a good book to read. This book follows a new babysitter to a family that has basically all the new technological advances set in their home. Basically a smart home. The babysitter is noticing things that aren't really aligning or is just really, really creepy. So when she takes care of this picture-perfect family in this smart home while the parents are away, things start happening that she can't explain. Taking along the point of view of this babysitter as she walks around this smart home with 2 kids that are acting very, very strange. And a plot twist I can say I was not expecting. Honestly, the ending of this book was so devastating, I could not handle it, so I highly suggest it. I gave it a 4 out of 5, I think. So if you like psychological thrillers, this might definitely be up your alley. The last book that I have on this list is a book I haven't actually read yet, but I'm really interested in reading it, and I wanted to share it because I haven't seen many people talk about it, so I wanted to share it with you. The book is The Similars. Similar to Truly Devious, if you like boarding school setting books, you might like The Similars because this follows a group of students who have now entered Darkwood Academy. But these 6 students stand out because they are actually clones of students that already have previously attended Darkwood Academy, are currently attending Darkwood Academy with them. In this book, we follow the point of view of Emmeline, who is a student at Darkwood Academy currently and has a clone of her that is attending the school with her as well. Everyone is trying to figure out where these students came from, who designed these students, and why they're attending their school now. Emmeline isn't really too worried about it because Emmeline has more pressing matters because over the summer her best friend actually died. But now that school started, she's met face to face with a clone of her dead best friend. I don't know about you, but these mysteries with boarding school settings or like academy type settings where all shady-ish is happening is definitely up my alley, and a reason why I wanted to film this video and why these mysteries are definitely a banger for summer. I'm really interested to get into this, especially after reading Ace of Spades, because the drama that happens at these elite high schools is definitely something I eat up. So if I find the time this month, I definitely will be picking this up. But alright everyone, that was my list of 5 mystery books that you should read this summer. I love the concept of every single one of these books, and reading a mystery in the summertime is definitely a whole mood for me. If you feel the same way, comment down below and tell me which book that you want to pick up next, or if you're currently reading one of these books, tell me how it's going. As always, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment while you're down there. Until next time, bye y'all!